Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen Cooking. I'm really proud of myself because I told you I would start doing these at least once a month. I didn't quite say every 4 weeks, but it's within the month. So we went from June to July. So hopefully by the time I get done filming this, I edit it and I post it on YouTube, it will have still been in July. You might notice that it's probably a little bit darker in here. I do have my studio light to make my face seem less fleshed out, but it is super hot. So I have all my shades drawn. I got the fan and the AC on full blast. I got my humidifier on full blast. I am shielding myself from the sun. It is so hot here. It is no joke. But for the most part, everything else has been super great. My mom and my sister recently came to visit me and we had a great visit. It was awesome to show them around town and take them to all the touristy spots, but also take them to some of the local spots. So they really had a good time, and my sister even won $400 at the El Cortez Casino. So that was really exciting for her. I also went and saw the band Turnover at a casino out here. Finally, I got to go to the UFC Expo and I got to meet some amazing fighters like Mackenzie Dern and Holly Holm, as well as Michael Chandler. Now, as you can see in that picture, I'm not buff. I've always been very confident. That's a lie, but I've come to accept that I'm never going to be shredded. So I kind of stopped going to the gym because I just didn't see the point, right? But after meeting Michael Chandler, and look at that guy's guns, like that guy is so ripped. And after meeting him, I immediately wanted to go to the gym and start doing curls for the girls, you know? But I just couldn't get over how big that guy's arms are. I wish I had arms like that, but I do not. So here we are, we're making YouTube videos in the kitchen cooking and not a cage fighter. So with that, let's go review our ingredients. And today we're gonna make the crunchy chicken, which I've gotten from this cookbook, Going Solo in the Kitchen. So this recipe is if you need to whip something up just for yourself. So someone like me, I don't want a ton of leftovers that are gonna go bad by the time I get a chance to eat it all. So I'm really excited to do this recipe and make something kind of exciting and fresh, but there's no pictures, so hopefully it turns out good. I'm confident it will. I'm getting more confident in the kitchen, but we'll see. So let's dive in and see what we're working with today. As you can expect, since we're cooking for just one person, we don't have a lot of ingredients, but one of the benefits of this recipe and the ingredients listed is a lot of them have a long shelf life. So as you can see, we've got some flour here. We also have some breadcrumbs. Those things are going to be ingredients that you can put in your cabinet and they'll last a while, which makes it easy because if you want to whip up this meal, you don't have to go to the store and keep buying these ingredients. And then we have the ingredients like the chicken and the egg and the butter. You probably already have those on hand, so it's easy just to go into your kitchen or your refrigerator and whip those out and have them handy very quickly. One thing to keep in mind is, typical me, I goofed. I was supposed to get grated cheese, but I got shredded cheese. I don't think it'll make that big of a difference, but something to keep in mind, if you are following along, you're supposed to get grated cheese. And also be careful, I didn't make this mistake, but breadcrumbs do come in Italian flavor, so make sure you're getting the plain breadcrumbs. But I think for the most part, that's the ingredients, what you see right here. So very easy. I got the oven on 450. It's almost done preheating. The first step is going to be setting up our stations, if you will. So the first station is going to be the flour station. So from here, we're going to coat the chicken breast with flour. Then we're going to move it to the next station, which is going to be the egg and soy sauce station. And the third and final station is going to be the cheese and breadcrumbs. So we're going to make that together. We're going to just coat the plate with flour here. And hopefully this isn't too much or not enough. So from there, we're going to take that chicken and coat it nice and floury. And next step is we're going to take the egg and crack it hopefully well. Sweet. With the egg, you're going to want to add 1 teaspoon of 1 teaspoon of soy sauce to our egg, and then we're going to whisk it. And finally, the last step and the last station is 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs and 2 tablespoons of your preferred cheese. Remember, grated. Sure that's nice and mixed up. I'm using my hands, but obviously if you're cooking for others in your family, you might want to use a little spoon or a fork to mix it around there, but we'll get it nice and mixed. Before we go through the stations, you're going to want to take your cooking dish or your cooking tray and put about a tablespoon of butter and throw it in the oven. The oven on my end is now preheated, it's ready to go, but we're going to throw some butter in here, toss it in the oven, let it melt, and then we'll slosh it around. And while it's melting, we're going to go ahead and put our chicken to the station and get ready to throw it in the oven. The American Heart Association would probably frown upon the amount of butter I just used to coat this. Waiting for the butter to melt. Funny story and a lesson: always check your oven before you turn it on. Fortunately, I only had a baking pan in there right now, but one time my apartment was flooded with fruit flies, or like attacked by fruit flies, because I went out of town and left some fruit on the counter. Typical me. But anyways, these fruit flies were so bad that I had to put all the stuff that was on my counters in the oven. Don't ask me why I didn't put it in a cabinet or put it in the refrigerator, but I had like candy, I had bread, and it was all in plastic, right? And so I put it in the oven while I took care of the fruit flies, and then like a week went by and I went to go cook something in the oven and I turned it on and I was playing video games while I waited for it to preheat, and I was like, what is that awful smell? And then it dawned on me, it's all the plastic I threw in the oven to keep it away from the fruit flies. And when I opened the oven, it was so bad. Safe to say I did not get my deposit back from that property. But anyways, that was just a quick story. We're gonna go ahead and take the chicken through the stations. That was kind of fun, but also extremely disgusting. My hands are probably covered in what could be salmonella, raw chicken, and raw egg. Yikes. But yeah, so I'm gonna wash my hands and then throw it in the pan here, whatever it's called, the oven dealio, and then we'll go ahead and get cooking. I started to smell some burning, so I opened the oven. It looks like it's just the cheese and the breadcrumbs that have fallen to the side. So that's a good sign, but I think I cooked it long enough to get it cooked all the way through. We'll find out shortly. It is smelling really good. I think it is the Monterey Jack that I'm smelling, but I'm really excited to get into this. I went ahead and whipped up some brown rice and broccoli, so we'll see how that combines with this chicken. But now it comes down to the ultimate test. How does it taste? Ooh, that cut through quite nicely. That's nice and moist, so even though it smelled like it was burning, it was just right. So about 15-20 minutes is that sweet spot at 450 degrees. Cheers. That's really good. For being something fast and easy, I can't recommend that high enough. So definitely give it a shot if you live by yourself or just want to whip something up really quickly. I can't recommend this recipe enough. It was really affordable, super quick. Definitely want to encourage you to try it out. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of In the Kitchen Cooking. I'm really pleased with how this came out. It was super easy, kind of fun to do the little stations. Not sure what I'm going to do next. I kind of want to stick with this cookbook and try and make another few quick recipes. But I've also been wanting to do a chili verde, a chicken or pork, so I'm still on the fence about that.
If you have anything you want me to try, please send me the recipe. You can drop it in the comments, or if you know me personally, send me a text and let me know, hey, try this, here's a good recipe, and I'll definitely give it a shot. But until next time, thanks again so much for coming by, and we'll see you on another episode of In the Kitchen Cookin'.